Hi, I'm DJ Josie. I'm the owner of Josie Farms. I have a beautiful wife. I think we've been married, and I'm probably going to be in trouble. 10 years now.
DJ and I actually met in 4-H, so that's how we met, yeah. So.
I have an 8-year-old son, a 7-year-old daughter, and a 3-year-old son.
DJ Josie and his wife Jamie are vegetable farmers, but like most everyone in Tillamook, their background is in dairy. They both grew up on farms and still have their own herd.
And we had to make a conscious decision whether we wanted to continue to grow more cow numbers or diversify our income. And we really had no desire to milk 1,000 cows.
Dairy farming just wasn't making financial sense for them, so they bought property from a retiring farmer, and now they have a thriving vegetable business, but with their own twist.
And it's a really interesting production model that we have because we use no commercial fertilizers, no pesticides, no insecticides. And long term, we want to reduce our cow numbers further so that we can actually have a closed loop system.
They still make some income selling milk to Tillamook, but there is another reason to keep these animals.
Good vegetables are grown in cow manure.
Still, as much as they are passionate about sustainable agriculture, there's another reason they do this.
Because it's a good life for kids to grow up this way, you know.
They're farm kids. They like to get dirty. They work side by side with their mother and I, mainly their mother because I don't have the patience for it. They're learning how to propagate, they're learning how to plant seeds, they're learning how to harvest. We're in a real unique climate here. I can grow vegetables year-round in Tillamook County, year-round.
So we have, let's say 4 rows of Brussels sprouts, some purple cabbage, kale. Yeah, these will carry us all the way through probably February or March, depending on how severe the winter is.
The Josies supply a wide variety of vegetables to restaurants up and down the Oregon coast, as well as a few in Portland. But the product that really sets them apart is their artichokes.
Part of the reason our artichokes are separated out from mainstream artichokes is because artichokes are a heavily pesticide product, and we don't use any of that.
If you want to try some of Josie Farms vegetables, they have an honor system farm stand just off the main highway where you can try their vegetables, beef, eggs, and artichokes.
We take the choke out, usually with a spoon. We boil them for about half an hour and then lay them on a cookie sheet, put olive oil, lime juice, and garlic salt on them and barbecue them for 10 minutes. And they pair extremely good with fresh caught Dungeness crab. It's a finger food feast.
But not all farms in Tillamook County produce food. Just a couple miles north of Josie Farms, nestled in a sheltered valley, is a business focused on sharing the unique beauty of the Pacific Northwest.
My name is Patrick Zweifel, and my wife and I started Oregon Coastal Flowers in 1996 and got this narrow strip of land along the Kilchis River, 64 acres. A lot of salmon fishing in the fall, but just a beautiful setting for a flower farm.
You won't find roses or carnations at Oregon Coastal Flowers. Instead, Patrick focuses on unique items that grow best in our cool Pacific climate. The floral business is highly competitive, so Patrick takes his products out of state.
Essentially, about 90% of the flowers sold in the United States are imported. But you really have to find something, a specialty niche, because a florist in Boston doesn't care where the flowers come from. They really care about quality and price. And we've found that we have a niche. In the LA flower market, for example, all the booths look the same because they're buying from the same importers from South America or from Holland. Whereas our booth looks like it's a piece out of Oregon, and it's a really special niche we have there.
When Patrick first started out, colorful calla lilies were his main product. But then farms in South America started growing them at a cheaper price.
And I almost went out of business, to be frank. Luckily, we were able to shift to these more specialty items.
One of those specialty items are flowering branches.
The Chinese New Year is our largest holiday for flowering branches, and we ship a lot of forsythia and quince and other branches that the Chinese people throughout the world enjoy.
On the farm, they have temperature and humidity controlled rooms, so they're able to manipulate when the branches begin to bloom.
So we can have cherry branches all the way from January until May. So at the beginning, we bring cherry branches in, we warm them up, give them an artificial spring, they flower, we ship them all over the country. And then at the end of the season, when they're flowering naturally, we actually keep them in the coolers and hold them back, so we're able to extend our season over 6 months rather than just a single 3 weeks natural blooming season.
Another huge part of the business are hydrangeas. Patrick has 5 long rows nestled between rows of alder trees.
We try to produce as sustainably as possible here at Oregon Coastal Flowers, and so the alder trees provide the shade, and they also are legumes, so they produce nitrogen. And so like when they drop their leaves, all that nitrogen goes in the soil. So I'm creating a situation where the plants thrive because they've got the shade and the nitrogen, and it's just a very sustainable way of growing.
Unfortunately, for most of the year, Oregon Coastal Flowers isn't open to the public, but there are a few ways to visit. There's a corn maze and a pumpkin patch every October. They hold weddings and some popular cross-country races.
So we have a mud pit behind us, and they cross the river, and all these people are just enjoying it like immensely. It's like one of the highlights of their cross-country career. It almost gives me goosebumps.
Our last stop is just up the highway in the port of Garibaldi, a farm with ambitions to change the way we think about and grow food.
We think that to feed the world, you have to think about agriculture differently.
This is Chuck Toombs and Alana Kiefer. They run the largest farm in the world that grows seaweed on land.
Behind me are 20 tanks full of dulse seaweed. So dulse is a red seaweed that grows in colder waters, so it grows in the North Atlantic and the North Pacific. We here have Pacific dulse.
A variety of dulse grown here at Oregon Seaweed was discovered at Oregon State's Hatfield Marine Science Center, and it's unique for a number of reasons. First, the nutritional content.
Our dulse specifically has about 30% protein, and it has all the 9 essential amino acids that you need, which makes it a complete protein. In terms of plant-based proteins, that's pretty rare.
Second, the taste.
To me, it has a more mild flavor than a lot of other seaweeds. It's not as fishy. It has like a salty, briny ocean flavor as a fresh ingredient. When you cook with it, it pulls out a much more smoky, savory flavor.
Third, seaweed farming is great for the environment. Seaweed sequesters carbon out of the atmosphere. It also helps clean the water and has been proven to help ocean acidification. Oregon Seaweed is still small, but they hope to massively scale up and take on some of the larger industrial crops like soy. Seaweed has the potential to be a powerful climate solution, and Chuck believes products like this are what will move the needle.
What we're trying to do is come up with a better product at a lower price and let the market take it. And that'll happen far quicker and far better than any other approach possible, either legislative, taxing, shaming. You just can't do it.
As of now, Oregon Seaweed has 2 small farms on the coast, one in Garibaldi and one in Bandon. And as a crop goes, dulse is really easy to grow.
Dulse just clones itself, so we actually don't ever work with seeds.
The dulse is grown in tanks next to the ocean. When the tide comes in, the pump turns on, fresh seawater fills the tank, and the old water drains out. Since dulse clones itself, they are harvesting year-round. By now, you're probably wondering, how can I try some? Alana sells dulse most weekends at the PSU Farmers Market, and she suggests eating it fresh on a salad or throwing it into a stir-fry. Local chefs are loving dulse as well.
From Pacific Restaurant in Tillamook to the Schooner in Neatarts, we have a restaurant up in Wheeler that's using it in their fresh pasta noodles. Fort George up in Astoria is putting it on pizzas.
Alana, Chuck, and the rest of the Oregon Seaweed team hope you will give their seaweed a try and watch as Oregon Seaweed continues its journey as an agricultural pioneer.